All right, good Tuesday evening, everybody. Obviously, we got some rain moving through tonight. There is a front just to the west of us. You can kind of tell where the front is. Take a look at where the winds come together right there, right along the Mississippi River. There's your front. Behind it, we've got a northwest wind coming through Arkansas and Louisiana, and that's going to be the big story with this front. Not only the cool down, but the really windy conditions that we're expecting starting tonight and then really through the day Wednesday. As far as the rain with this storm, we're not going to get a whole lot. There may be a couple thunderstorms in the mix, but I think the time for severe weather is pretty much done here. We had a marginal risk over the southwestern part of the state through Louisiana and Texas, out ahead of that cold front. But the storm's weakening just a little bit as they continue to press off to the east. And you see what we got going on right now on Live IMAX 12. We're going to zoom in to our northern counties, and you can see a lightning strike right there south and west of Yazoo City. So you may hear a rumble of thunder, and certainly the rain's going to be heavy when it comes through, but these showers are moving fairly quickly. So I think 10-15 minutes, and it should be done. Here's a look at the rain south of us, and again, a few lightning strikes. Jefferson County into Copiah County, and also around Walthall into Pike County. So there will be some thunderstorms tonight and some heavy rain. I think some spots could pick up, let's say, quarter to a half inch of rain. Now, of course, the front is not through the metro yet. It's still in the low 60s here. We've got a southeast wind at about 10 miles per hour. But by tomorrow morning, the front will have come through. Winds will have shifted to the west, and temperatures will have dropped into the upper 40s to low 50s. And then, look, we just don't warm up tomorrow. That's because we're going to have strong west winds, overcast skies, still a little bit of rain in our northern counties north of I-20 because of some wraparound moisture. So just not a pleasant day tomorrow. It's going to be overcast and breezy and chilly and wet in a few spots. This is how windy it's going to be. We're looking at wind gust between 30 and 40 miles per hour. This is lunchtime Wednesday. This is about about 10 p.m. to midnight Wednesday night. So the winds do begin to calm down late tomorrow night, and as we get into the day Thursday, the high pressure will get closer to us, and the winds will die down just a bit. But look at this wind advisory. It's basically for the western half of the state and also the I-20 corridor. This is going to start at 4 a.m., and that's about the time the front's going to come through, and last until 7 p.m. tomorrow. So here's our front. There you see the position of it right along the Mississippi River, and it's going to blast through during the overnight. The area of low pressure, though, is going to stick around to the north of us with the wraparound moisture. We get the cloud cover for most of the day Wednesday, but then high pressure comes in for Thursday to clear all that out. By the way, this front that's coming through is what's helping to steer Melissa away from the Gulf and the east coast of the U.S. It's going to pick up the storm and push it out into the Atlantic Ocean. Was not able to save, though, the folks here in the Caribbean. Of course, we know it moved into Jamaica as a Category 5 hurricane, and not only hit a Category 5, but one of the strongest hurricanes we've ever seen on record in the Atlantic Basin. That happened at noon today. Over West Jamaica on the south shore. Spent all day moving through Jamaica as a major hurricane. It was only downgraded to a Category 3 at one point. Well, now look, it's back up to a Category 4, and that's because it's come out over the water between Jamaica and Cuba. So it's going to move into Cuba in a couple of hours as a Category 4 hurricane, and then by tomorrow, it should be headed through the Bahamas. But right now, it's got top winds of 130 miles per hour. And it is beginning to pick up some speed off to the northeast, now moving at 9 miles per hour, and that's really going to pick up as we go through the next couple of days. So here's a look late tomorrow. Should be through Cuba. It should be through the Bahamas, and after Wednesday evening, it's not going to hit anything else. It's going to accelerate through the Atlantic Ocean into the North Atlantic, north of the British Isles by this weekend as a shadow of its former self. But this one's going to go down in the history books. You can absolutely bet for certain that Melissa, that name will never be used again because it's going to get retired. Made landfall at about noon Central Time near New Hope, Jamaica, when the minimum central pressure was at 892 millibars and the maximum sustained winds at 185 miles per hour. I believe I heard that we had wind gusts that were recorded over 200 miles per hour. So this ties for the strongest hurricane at landfall in the Atlantic by pressure and by wind speed. The 1935 Labor Day hurricane that went through the Florida Keys had a minimum central pressure of 892, and then Hurricane Dorian, remember that from about 6 years ago, it was 2019, moved through the Bahamas with 185 mile per hour winds. So Melissa tied both of those storms for pressure and for wind speed. So nobody's ever in our lifetimes experienced a landfall like this. So I'm afraid we're just going to get some horrible video coming out of Jamaica over the next day or two once the storm moves away and we're able to get in there and see what happened. So terrible situation for them. For us, the front saved us. The front that's moving through right now, and it's of course producing this rain that is going to be shifting across the Pine Belt by about 4 o'clock in the morning. That's when that wind advisory is going to kick off at 4 a.m. and it's going to go all day on your Wednesday, because around this storm, the area of low pressure is going to be stuck just to the north of us. So we're going to get the cloud cover coming back and even a little bit of rain in our northern counties right through Wednesday afternoon. Then by Wednesday night, Thursday, the clouds clear out, the sun comes back. We're going to keep it for Thursday, Friday, Saturday before our next rain event comes in on Sunday. So with this storm, again, not much rain through the overnight. We're going to pick up less than a half inch. Wet weather through early Wednesday, then dry Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then yet another storm coming back over the weekend. This one, though, this upcoming weekend is not going to be as bad as the last two. The last two we had severe weather. This one, I don't think we're going to get that this weekend, so it shouldn't be a bad weekend at all. All right, your forecast for tonight, rain. Some thunderstorms are still going to be possible farther south. We're going to start to see our winds pick up from the west. Your low temperature in the morning at 49 degrees. And then tomorrow, still a 40% chance of light showers, mostly north of I-20. The high temperature is only going to make it up to 57 degrees. And look at our winds gusting in from the west at about 40 miles per hour. Now, Thursday, sunny but chilly. And then Thursday night, we're going to see clear skies. Winds are going to calm down, allowing the temperature to drop into the 30s for the first time this season. Now at 39, it's not quite cold enough for a frost or a freeze, so I'm not worried about that, but it is going to be cold Friday morning. Now Friday afternoon, it'll be a nice day. Sunny skies, temperature of 65, but Friday is Halloween. So once the sun goes down with those fair skies, we're going to see our temperatures quickly drop through the 50s and possibly into the 40s by late Friday evening. So keep that in mind for the trick-or-treaters and for high school football. For the first time, you may have to take a jacket out to those high school football games this Friday night. Now, the weekend overall doesn't look bad. Remember, there is a shot of rain coming Sunday, but right now I'm just going to put in about a 10% chance. It is going to be an extra long weekend because time changes this weekend. It's always the first weekend in November. So technically, we do this early Sunday morning. Of course, a lot of folks are going to do it before they go to bed Saturday night. And the rule is we fall back 1 hour. So we're going to turn the clocks back 1 hour before bed Saturday night, which means you get an extra hour this weekend. And then next week is looking fantastic at this point as we head through the first week in November. Sunny skies, temperatures in the 40s in the morning and low 70s in the afternoon. That is picture perfect weather. So the worst of it is really going to be over the next 24 hours with the cloudy and the wet and the breezy conditions on your Wednesday, and then it gets cold by Friday morning. After that, we are good to go for the next several days. We have meteorologist Megan Hanna that's going to be here first thing tomorrow morning with your next weather update. Have a good night.